Nigeria loses over $5 billion annually in the aviation industry, which includes about $2 billion repatriated per annum by foreign airlines and unserviced bilateral air service agreement (BASA). The Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority (NCAA) says this unfortunate incident occurs because the country does not have major airlines to reciprocate flight services to countries whose airlines operate in Nigeria. To ease the pressure, the United States government says it will partner with African Hub International to develop entrepreneurs that would manage the aerospace industry in Nigeria. This was the clear message by Brent Omdal, the commercial counselor, U.S. Department of Commerce in Nigeria, at the African Hub Media Palace in Lagos. Omdal said the potential of the aviation sector had not been tapped.
Aviation sector to the Nigerian economy, and what are the opportunities it creates for the development of the economy and for young entrepreneurs coming up as well. The aviation industry extends far beyond just operating an airline. There's a whole support structure that goes into that. And in the United States, we've been fortunate to develop the whole supply and value chain. As Nigeria begins to grow economically, the demand for air services will just increase. And so I'm impressed with Africa Hub International for the way that they're thinking about this critical sector in a strategic way. Not just thinking about the operation of an airline, but also all of the support services that go into that and the entrepreneurial activities that can come out of that, ranging from providing spare parts to maintenance, repair, operation services, to all of the trade and commerce opportunities that revolve around an airport and aviation hub, in addition to the recreational aspects that go along with it. Nigerians have shown that they have a real affinity for flying, and there's been a lot of discussion about creating a regional airline, but our American companies are happy to do partnerships. One that we've highlighted here today is an education partnership between Africa Hub International and the Aviation Institute of Maintenance based in the United States, where there would be education opportunities created for young Nigerians to get engaged not just in engineering, which is an important part of the sector, but also in the maintenance aspect, with becoming a trained technician, for instance, which is also is critical to keeping airlines and airplanes going and moving. And so really the opportunities are off the chart. I'm again impressed with Africa Hub International. We've been able to partner with them in bringing American companies to the table, and I would encourage them to continue to think about the strategic sectors that were mentioned today: agriculture, ICT, and seeking partnerships with American companies. Would be happy to also facilitate those kinds of introductions.
According to him, aviation is very important and a key sector that can contribute to the development of any economy and largely to the gross domestic product.
Coming up this year, I think we've invited the NIPC to join us and talk about services they're offering through their one-stop shop, how it can help small SMEs grow. We'll also have about 10 new-to-market American companies with us during that event in August, where we'll introduce them to the market and really put them together with Nigerian companies that would be the right partner for them depending on their interests, the sector that they're working in, and what they're trying to achieve.
Experts believe the aviation market has a very high potential and is expected to double in the next 10 years if growing the economy through the sector remains top priority.
We need people to be aware of the sector. Two, we need to be able to say what and what can be derived in the sector in terms of sales, whether it's parts, whether it's in terms of education, whether it's in terms of tourism, in terms of, yes, the usual commercial aspect of moving passengers and goods from one location to the other. People are dreaming about even tourism to the moon. So the sector does have quite a bit. It takes on strengths of education, takes on strengths of technology, and there's quite a lot of how this can affect the economy in the long run.
Oluneye Oluwole is the Executive Director of African Hub International. She said partnership with the U.S. Aviation Institute of Aerospace Maintenance to offer aircraft maintenance courses through e-learning is good for the nation's economy.
You would see that for the aerospace, technology in the aerospace, dovetails into agribusiness. We're not out of agribusiness. We're only extending our brand to other industries that are kind of feeders to, the agribusiness, that helps agribusiness to grow. And it is only through technology. And what kind of technology are we talking about? The use of drones, the use of aerospace. How do you improve yield? How do you expand production? How do you logistics? So these are the things that we're looking at. We're not just looking at agribusiness alone. We're extending our brand to aviation and aerospace, and no other partner than the United States Embassy and the Commercial Service in particular.
She says the country's aviation industry is growing very fast and the need to key into global standard aviation training is necessary for economic growth. The African Hub International insists Nigeria must emerge as a hub of training in aviation for other developing countries keen to establish competitive aviation sector as a safe, secure and environmentally sound pillar of economic growth.